So welcome.
Yes,
We've got a few people
yes,
on board.
awesome. Yes, welcome everybody.
Yeah, let me open up the chat so I can see everybody. It's nice. Thank you for coming on board. We appreciate
hmm
it. We
hmm
appreciate it. What is
Absolutely.
everybody experiencing right now? Um, I'm always busy in the summer, always have been. I'm blessed. When you want to work, the work is there. That's for
hmm
sure.
Yeah.
Uh, but it has been unusually quieter
hmm
proceeding to Labor Day than I normally experience. I'm
Okay.
noticing inventory as well on lower this week on the new listings hitting the market. It's interesting to me, and I'd love everybody else's, what they're experiencing. I am seeing a shift in their open houses. I'm seeing more people coming to them than they have for other weekends this past summer. It's been
Okay.
very interesting. What are
Yes.
you hearing, Crystal?
Um, it's always just generally the same. It's just with the leads and getting a hold of them. And I think that was like what we spoke about last webinar is, the leads just becoming a little bit more difficult to gain a connection with. Right.
Yeah,
So, not too many shifts. So I do obviously like there's people that are successful. They're still hammering out stuff. They're doing transactions with their leads. But there's always going to be that lull. I believe that, that kind of happens in the summer
yeah,
months just because we're
yeah,
all out, generally speaking, people are out living their life. And if they don't have to move right now, sometimes that's just the last thing on their mind while
yeah.
they're just going upon their day to day.
I think that, again, I've noticed a shift, and for me, I never see a lot of shifts with my leads because they always communicate very well. Um, Again, I'm always going to put this note out. It's not up to me when they're ready to buy a house. It's ultimately always up to the lead, right?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
just a matter of I'm always there. I'm always telling them I'm here to help, and I've been very fortunate that because I'm constantly there and keeping in touch and the drip campaign, a lot of them do use me
Mhm.
when the time is right for them. However, the last 6 weeks at least, the lack of replies to my email drip, which has always worked, always
Mhm.
been phenomenal.
Yeah.
There's been a shutdown. I saw Agent Locator sent out an email to everybody saying, people are calling and nobody's answering.
Mhm.
Um, and again, what I want to say is, I don't think all of us are saying this because we're trying to be Debbie Downers. It
Mhm.
just reinforces again that you have to have multiple ways all together of trying to contact and build trust with these leads. It can't just be, I'm only going to do A. I'm only going to call them and I'm
Mhm.
not going to have an email drip. I'm only going to text them and I'm not going to call them and I'm not going to have an email drip. It is all of these training systems combined.
Yes.
And if one thing isn't working that well, you have to bounce to the next thing to try and try that and see if you're not gaining traction. And
Mhm.
I'm living proof of it, everybody. For years before we had our cell phone numbers sold to everybody has them now. And before robo dialing was a thing, I always had my email drip program, but I always called my leads as soon as they entered my dashboard. Didn't matter if I was in the grocery store, didn't matter. When my
Mhm.
phone went off, I made the call. But then people stopped answering the calls
Mhm.
or they were extremely rude. And I knew then that I had to shift to calling yes, but really building my email drip campaign because nobody wanted to talk on the phone to a complete stranger anymore.
Mhm.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's when my calls kind of went at different days. They weren't just day one anymore.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's where I think we have to all be committed to working our leads as a true pillar of our business. We have to
Mhm.
adjust, right?
Absolutely.
And who knows what we're going to have to do right now with the US, Trump, and Canada right
Right.
now. I can't even begin to fathom if this goes really hardcore, if
Mm-hmm.
how this is now also going to trickle down because it already has affected our real estate market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what
Yes.
are we doing now to make sure that our leads, because there's business in there no matter what's going on in the world,
Mm-hmm.
what are we doing now to make sure that we're hitting them the right way?
Exactly.
And that's really what it boils down to, guys, is I've never worked so hard in my real estate career. I have never worked so hard from beginning to end.
Yeah.
It's not even just, you
It's
just get them listed. Now, oh my goodness. A
yeah,
comp comes, they sell 50,000 lower than what the last comp was. Now you're overpriced,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's
Then you
it's
finally
it's
get the right price, and now the buyer still wants it 100 grand lower when they come forward with an offer.
yeah.
It's really challenging.
It is. It's challenging, and it's quite the exact opposite of what was experienced through the COVID, like 2021,
Yeah,
when things were just flying off the shelf. You couldn't price it. You had no idea because today's price is completely different than tomorrow's price, and it could have been $100,000 more. So
yeah,
that it's like the reverse struggle of that of pricing a property properly in order to get that sale to happen and attract the buyers.
I know, and I think that for those of us that are in real estate full time, and this is our only income or our income,
Hmm.
you really have to have plan A, B, C, and probably D in regards to continuing your conversion.
Hmm.
And it really does, like anything else, it starts with us, right? What is our
Hmm.
attitude? What is our plans? If something's not working, what are we willing to do to see if that avenue will work? And that
Absolutely.
could be um, other things. I'll tell you what we're doing on the inside. I've just created a program. It took me a while. You know me, Crystal. I'm always creating something, aren't
I
I, with
know
real
you
estate?
are.
Like writing training programs for
Yeah,
realtors and
yeah.
stuff. Now I'm like, okay, you get all these leads, and the volume, no matter what, is always overwhelming because the leads are
Hmm.
always coming in, whether you're doing
Yes,
business or not. Like they're always
exactly.
building, right? Like that
Yeah.
tower is getting, and I'm
Hmm.
getting more and more and more pages, which is a great thing because that's business up and coming.
Hmm.
But it is impossible. Like for me now, I'm well over 6,000 on my dashboard,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So my back page is 597 or something
Yeah.
is how many pages I have. So I'm like, okay, Tara, let's be real. You're good, but you ain't that good anymore.
Yeah.
Like, how can you
Yeah.
possibly contact those back pages realistically and get it all done, right?
Hmm.
Because the drip is run out. Their listing searches, probably a lot of them aren't sending anymore. It's
Hmm.
old school criteria.
Yes. Yes.
So, what I did was I sat and I developed an internal ISA program where,
Hmm.
interviewing some people that are really good on the phone, not realtors, but just the people that possibly could create a system with me to do additional touches
Yeah.
where I can focus on, leads that might be 3 years and up, and they can focus on doing additional touches with me. And how does that look? How does that look on Agent Locator? What are the templates? What are those phone scripts look like? And it's pretty basic, but I popped it out this morning finally with all those tidbits together, and I went, dang, that's actually pretty good.
Hmm.
I think I've come up with an ISA system that doesn't breach any code of ethics because
Yeah.
they're just calling. I'm Bob calling for Tara with begintosearch.com. Just wanted to check in because you came in our site and we really appreciate it. How's the
Hmm.
search going? Right?
Hmm.
If
Yeah.
Bob says, I don't know if I'm looking anymore, I don't know what I want, you know what? Let me have Tara give you a call. Let's update your search.
Hmm.
Super
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is the next point that I'm willing to try to see if there's any recatching business way back then.
Yes.
But it had to start with, how does this look? How does
Hmm.
this actually flow on Agent Locator and the agent's dashboards? What is he going to say? What is he not allowed to say? And
Exactly.
always saying, I'm calling on behalf of the agent,
Hmm.
and introducing himself. So that
Yes.
coalition is there,
Yes.
right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
This is what I'm doing now, Crystal. Yeah.
Well,
Are
I'm
you
sure it'll work.
hell
I'm
freeze
sh-
over? Always said no ISA for Tara. No, no, no.
yeah.
And now
Well,
I'm like, I'm not Superwoman.
and it kind of goes to show that, as strong as we think we are as individuals, sometimes we do need that help to be the most effective in our business, right?
Yeah,
It's, if it's realizing that I can't do this by myself in order to do
right.
a great job and really gain anything from this magnitude of individuals that I've collected over time, because they're just sitting there. Yes, they're getting mass communications or drips and what have
Yeah,
you, but
for
the
sure.
personal touch points, a phone conversation is hard to achieve by one person when there's that many leads.
Yep. And eventually everybody will build up a volume. I mean, for some people, even if you have 400 on your dashboard, that can be overwhelming to you. And
Hmm.
I feel like, because I will always say this right now until it changes, the business that I'm converting is not the brand new ones. It's people that have been on for a while and they're now ready.
Hmm.
And the stats have usually always said that with conversion. That's it is technically the ones that have been on the system for a while, maybe a
Hmm.
year, maybe 2 years, that are coming to fruition a little quicker than the brand new leads.
Yeah.
So for me, it was, I will never want to lose out on missing a conversion because I no longer can keep up with the volume. So
Yes.
that's how this looks. And believe you me, guys, when I created this program, it was from beginning to end what I have to do on Agent Locator to make sure the ISA has them on their dashboard. What are they allowed to do? The rules, the not, you are allowed, you
Hmm.
aren't allowed, and the templates. Here's what you can say on a phone call. Here's what you can't say.
Hmm.
So it really was quite extensive.
Hmm.
But I think for the person that does do this role, there will be no question of lines that
Yes.
they cannot cross. And the
Hmm.
fact that I think sometimes internal ISAs fail because the lead starts to build a bond with Bob, the RISA,
Yes.
but yet the agent's name doesn't get introduced,
Hmm.
right? Or
Yeah.
reminded of. So it was
Yes.
really important that this person will identify themselves as, hey, I'm Dale. I work with Tara. She's been sending you listings. This is
Hmm.
what we were wondering,
Yeah.
right? So there's
Hmm.
no pass off.
Yeah, there's always got to be that connection between the two,
Yep. Yep.
100%.
So
And
that's
so,
what's latest on this end
yeah.
is, and I'm really going to be excited once we
Hmm.
actually get it launched. I've already hired somebody. Now
Hmm.
it's just a matter of me taking the training to them and sitting down with them and doing role play. And
Yeah.
even if you guys that are listening, this is something that maybe you've thought about, I really believe that you have to sit one on one with whoever it is that's doing calls for you, even if you have a licensed agent doing it, because it really has to sound like it's you, right?
Yes.
Um,
100%.
they need to kind of see what your rhythm is and how you are with people so that they can somehow be a reflection to the best of their ability of that. So the next stage
Absolutely.
is sitting, training, sitting while they do some calls. And then
Hmm.
I'll report back, guys, if you're interested to
Yep.
see how it's going. And for me, the win is not always the deal. The win
Hmm.
is, did they end up having a good conversation and reconnecting us again with a lead and their potential of conversion,
Yes.
right?
100%. It's all about
Yeah.
the conversations you have. If you have a lot of conversations, good conversations, usually you have a pretty positive end result. But if you're not talking, or very little or closed conversations that really are, I'm going to say, authentic, it's harder to get across that finish line for sure.
Right, right. And this is it. We got to do everything we can. So, you know what, guys? We love to hear your thoughts.
Hmm.
What are you experiencing? Are you having any issues with leads, or how about this business altogether? What are,
Hmm.
please, please, please come in the chat. Um, I don't have my chat open, so I can't
Yeah,
see, but yeah.
nothing is, yeah. Yeah. What do you guys find? I know since the last webinar, what has August looked like for you guys as far as your leads go, based on, it could even be like how communication, are you finding some of them more responsive than others, or the complete lack of responsiveness? Again, we're all in, a lot of a few possibly are in different markets, right? So depending on where you live, sometimes has a huge impact on, the lead responsiveness.
Oh, no doubt.
Hmm.
I do think I will be honest with you, because the leads have been a little quieter. My volume does seem to be okay, though. I will say that. I do think leads
Hmm.
are still doing Google searches. But I do think it's smart to kind of vary your target areas. Um, I do think that it's good to buy different areas.
Hmm.
Not just focus on one area, the area that you live. If you can go outside, I've always done that from the moment I started buying leads. And when I switched 10, it's almost 11 years ago to Agent Locator, I've always had multiple areas. So if one area tends to be, people just aren't looking like they were, you've got
Hmm.
those other areas that are still bringing in new
Yes,
leads. So I don't
absolutely.
know, guys, depending on your budget, I would never, ever, ever buy just one or two areas. I
Hmm.
would always do three higher depending on your budget, because there's always something coming in.
Hmm.
I'm wondering, because inventory has kind of come down a little bit where I am. I'm wondering if it's going to get real slow the end of this week and next week with
Hmm.
Labor Day, and I'm very curious to see what happens after Labor Day with
Yes.
with what's going on. I'm really hoping, if the war trade really heats up, because there could be hints of interest rates rising again,
Hmm.
possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be a little bit of a surge of people trying to get into a house before that maybe could happen.
Hmm.
I don't know.
You never, yeah,
I need
it's
this
really
crystal.
hard to say. Yeah, that, yeah, all the trades talks and everything, I think is, I'm going to say, likely going to have some level of impact because it already has, right? And
It already has.
it
Yes.
already has. So it's
Been
just a
long
matter
going.
of where, the discussion is now, what's going to happen. It's the uncertainty of people. They just don't know what to expect. And it's for them, they look at it as a risk, right? We're buying this home and the market, they're going to say crashes. And now I'm out. My house is now worth, $50,000, $100,000 less than when I purchased it for.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a risk that a lot of people aren't willing to make, and if they don't have to, they're not going to. So
I mean, but that's
it's,
that's what's riding out. You got to ride it out, right?
hmm,
We all know that as realtors. One year your house could be worth less, the next year could be worth 100K more,
it's,
right? It's
yeah,
the name of the game.
you
I
see
can
it.
understand flippers and investors being cautious. I think we've all been trying to tell buyers, please get in this market, negotiate a price. It's not
Mhm.
that bad as you guys
No,
have all proclaimed it to be. Your
yes,
mortgages are still usually cheaper than what you guys are paying for rent. So
100%.
it's just trying to get them to believe you is the next craziest thing. I see that you've made comments. I'm sorry, Jackie. Do you
Hmm.
want to read
That's
what
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so Jackie's saying she gets into freeze mode over what to say in the first seconds of a call. Not getting many answers. If I get past the initial moments, I'm fine. Seeing lots of visits to the site. I call right away when I see, but they don't answer. Um, yeah, so that's the
Okay.
first. That's the
They're
first
not
thing. Yeah,
answering.
yeah,
They're not
not
answering.
answering.
Yeah. So this is what if you read the email that Agent Locator sent out. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, they're not answering. Put yourself in their shoes, right?
Hmm.
We get calls. What do I do? Report, block, right?
Yeah.
So what else are you doing? What else are you doing? Do you have, Jackie, a really good email drip campaign that combines emails and SMSs? Sending text. Hey, give
Contacts.
it a shot, give it a try. Keep it
Hmm.
simple. You remember
Hmm.
that growing up in school? What did they used to say? Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Keep it tiny. When we're doing calls, when we're doing texts, and gosh, I don't know if Nick would disagree with me. He's clearly amazing on the phone, but we're not
Hmm.
asking surveys. We don't want to take up a lot of their time. We just want to introduce our voice to these people. Hey, I'm real and I'm
Hmm.
here to help.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yes.
here to help. This is my number. Please reach out to me if you ever have real estate questions or if you need me to revise your search for you, because I can do that real easy, right?
Hmm. Yes.
That's what you need to do. So, Jackie, we all get nervous on the phone. Um, Even I do, and I'm pretty good in sales, but yeah, sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, right?
Hmm.
Remember, we're just there to introduce ourselves to them, and if you take that mindset on, I'm just calling because I'm just going to say, hey, Sue, it's Jackie from whatever your site's name is. I just wanted to call to thank you for coming on my site and looking at listings. It actually really means a lot to me. When you do that as your first sentence, right now, Sue has got her guard down
Hmm.
because we're not here saying, "Hey, you were on my site. You're looking in Whitby. You're looking at 2 stories up to 950. Yeah, do you want me to change?" We're not doing that.
Yes. Hmm.
We're not doing that. So
Yes.
always when I make a call, it's just to say, I just wanted to say thank you for coming on my site. It really means a lot. By the way, this is my cell number. If you need me to change your search, just text me. I'm always
Yeah.
available. Okay? Yeah. It's
Absolutely.
our mindset. And then
It
you know
is.
what? Now it's like when I go out door knocking, guys, I don't go out door knocking to get an appointment because if I don't get an appointment, then I'll feel like I failed. And that
Hmm.
F word does not work well with Tara. It
Hmm.
does not. So when I door knock, I say to myself, I'm just here to let everybody know I'm a realtor.
Yeah.
And, once I'm done door knocking, it's always a successful period of time because I've
Hmm.
accomplished what I wanted.
Yes.
100 people in this street now know Tara Baylis is a realtor and they now have my card. We're good.
Yes. Hmm. Yep.
Okay.
No, definitely. Definitely. And a lot of it's just meeting people when you're door knocking, coming face to face, having conversations. So it's
It's your mindset, right? It's
100%.
your mindset. So I've opened up the chat.
Yeah. So learn the hard way. If they won't sit at the right price, I'm not interested in listing. I'd rather work with buyers. Yeah, for sellers. Yeah.
And I tell
That's what it's
you,
going off of.
and this is the problem that we're having right now with sellers. I don't disagree with you. Never before in my entire career have I ever seen price being such an issue. Bottom
Hmm.
line is this, though, and this is what I'm experiencing with my listing in Ajax. We go on the market, we have comps for our list price, two houses, same size, in the same neighborhood, decide to sell 100,000 and more lower than what we were listed at.
Wow.
Now our comps have changed.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So
Hmm.
again, we don't know the needs of those sellers, right? We don't
Hmm.
know, but the bottom line is now the agents coming to us are saying, "Oh, but we got two new comps and those ones, and they're not wrong." But
Yes.
today, what do I have to say to my people?
Yeah.
You're potentially $100,000 now less,
Yes.
right? And they're
Yeah.
fighting. What do they say? My house is worth because that one didn't have a basement and that one didn't have that. And I'm like, either way, the appraiser is not going to give you dollar for dollar what you've got more than the same
Yes.
size house, same bedrooms in your area decided to
Hmm.
sell for.
Yes.
It changes like this.
Do you think in those cases that's like a marketing strategy for the listing agent that home we're going to go under because then we're going to know we're going to get an offer,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
create
Yes.
those try to create a bidding war a little bit
There's
on
no
the
doubt
listing.
about it. We have a high volume of listings, a high volume. We're very
Mhm.
blessed. When
Yeah.
I'm looking at what other agents are listing at and I'm seeing how low it is, and I've done the comps in a neighborhood,
Hmm.
I'm boggled, but I'm not going to harp on the agent either because we what we don't know as other agents is that seller close to losing their home?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Has
We
that
don't
seller
know.
bought and now they're screwed, right?
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
just I guess you have to take it with a grain of salt. There are some people that just want a quick sale, but
Yes.
there could be other reasons behind, right?
100%.
So I
100%.
do agree. If you guys follow Brian Buffini, he even said last year with his bold predictions that 2026 and maybe going forward, this is the year where agents do have to say, I'm not taking your listing.
Hmm.
Your expectations are too high. We spend so much money on listings to get them on the
Hmm.
market that
100%. Yeah.
yeah, there's no reason that we should have to be forced into taking a listing when we know the price is 100% way
Yes.
off. Yeah,
Hmm.
let somebody else take it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's no point because not only that, if you're offering different services, you're now out of pocket, right?
Oh,
X amount of
we are
dollars. And,
a lot.
that's a loss. That's a loss if the property
Yeah,
doesn't sell. And especially if you know it's not going to sell at that price,
yeah, yeah.
right?
It's interesting times. It's very difficult. I appreciate you
Hmm.
going in the chat, Jackie. Has anybody else got thoughts on that too? What they're experiencing? It's tough out there. I will be honest with you. I think it's beefing up your open houses is really helpful. I've
Hmm.
always been one that says when I do an open house, it's about showing the seller that we're working because, do they ever really believe that we work if they don't see us, right?
Yeah.
Um, right? But
Yeah.
I also know that it's a great way to get yourself in front of other people. So if you
Hmm.
do have a listing that's kind of sitting there, right, stagnant, and at least you can say to yourself, let me try to make additional income because I'm doing these open houses and connecting with maybe another buyer who also has a house to sell.
Hmm.
Um, and I think there's such a multi-purpose to our open houses as well that it's a good
Yes.
strategy. It's a very good strategy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a lot of deals that happen from an open house, just from
So
those
I'm
buyers
at
walking through.
6 right now from an open house that I did last year on one of my listings. I'm at 6 deals done
Hmm.
by who I met at
Yeah.
that open house, right? I did an open house on Saturday. Two of the buyers there don't have agents. They've already told me when they want to see houses the next time.
Hmm.
And one of them has a house to sell in Clarington. Had I not done that open house, I never would have met those people. Never,
No.
never. So, and then you do them and nobody comes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, but it's perfect time to work your leads. No?
yeah,
Waiting for
a
the next
true
person to
story.
come,
True
right?
story.
It's,
Yeah. Any
so it's
interesting things up and coming with Agent Locator that you can?
um interesting things. Well, we did a webinar, um was it last week? Last Monday, I think, on the AL Go app. So that's kind of the replacement for the CRM app that everyone's currently using. It
Yeah,
is only on iPhone at the moment. It is going to, Adam's trying to push it to Android by the end of the year. He's just getting it all sorted out on one before he can do both, so to speak.
right,
But that one there has a couple cool features. One being the ability to have AI create a blog post and post it right onto your website with you just giving it a prompt and it'll publish it right onto your website, even add a picture, you can prompt it for that. So that's a great tool for everyone to stay current with information on the website, create
right.
hyper focused content, and that all of that stuff. It'll also add the meta tags, the description, all of that for SEO
Hmm.
to the post as well. So that's good for like the SEO on your website, but also AI SEO in a sense of increasing your chances of being a recommended site or a source when somebody's using ChatGPT, for example, as a search. It'll come up as where they get that information. It gives links, so you could generate leads from that for sure. So that's something good that it takes you 5 minutes. You give it a prompt, tell it to create a picture, post your site, carry on your day. So there's that one. You also have the CMA tool now in the back end of it's in that app. We also have CRM beta version 2 beta that is in beta. So not everything
Hmm.
works in there. But it is being built out. And one of the features that is not only in the app, but also in that beta is the ability to create a CMA. So the CMA, you can do it on the fly, and if you're talking to someone on the phone, they just want a quick snapshot of what it is. You put their like you add their address in, creates a whole report. You pick comparables to send with it, that sort of thing. You can shoot it off in an email, relatively quick. Desktop, of course, is always easier to use, and you can also create your own
Hmm.
templates. You can create your own CMA templates and how they're going to be put together. So again, those you can create and download as PDFs, so they can print them off. So that's a great new feature that's being built in there, as well
Okay.
as being able to upload documents to the lead accounts as well. So kind of interchanging and creating more of an all-around tool for you guys. Uh, and the goal is to really eliminate all these other programs that are being used, so you guys don't have to have subscriptions everywhere. Right? It's just one subscription that covers a lot of the essentials that you're looking for. So
Wow.
yeah, so that's been continuously in the works, that whole all side of it. There's going to be included in that app, the Home IQ app, which is the app for the lead or your contact itself. That one there, you'll be able to book and coordinate showings through there with them. I believe it's going to connect to some of the online booking portal things. Um, you
Okay.
you can share your location with somebody, so someone already knows where you are when you're on these showings. But you can also share your location with your contact as well. So if they get lost, they can kind of see where they're going, that sort of thing. So
Oh,
really cool
that's a good idea.
features. Yeah, and there'll be like
Yeah.
a room measurement tool, so you can actually measure the room, um, leveling. Like there's a bunch of different tools in there that would be beneficial when you guys are using the app to for your listings, for again,
Okay.
essential business tools that you maybe use. So those are all in the works with the app. Adam's currently still building those out. I think he has the rough of it. It's just now plugging it all in and making it functional. You'll be able to send videos to your leads as well right from there. So it's a really cool all around. The app itself, and then of course that's in beta, will be a full kind of robust system with a lot of different things where you'll be able to manage your Google campaigns and request increases, or just
Wow.
trying to simplify everything and make it easier for you guys to actually gain transactions, and yeah,
Right.
keeping you on top of
Right.
your business, but also managing your business, after the transaction as well. Um, so that's kind of in the works there. I know some of you, and I don't know if I mentioned this last time we were on here, um, is I did revamp. So if all of you guys have CRM or campaigns built into your system, I did revamp the initial buyer campaign, the initial seller campaign, the initial rental campaign, the unresponsive lead campaign, and the educational buyer and seller campaign. So those are all now current and up to date. So for those of you that need, and we talk about campaigns all the time, and
Mhm.
how Tara, that's one of the ways you effectively communicate with your database. The educational campaigns are simply emails with a little bit of a educational touch point, but also
Right.
asking questions, so they're kind of softer toned in there. So that's something for anyone there that you're struggling at building something for yourself. It could be just the foundation. You can go in, you can modify those emails, you can change the tone to sound more like yourself. But it's a great way to stay on top of your leads, and just stay connected, top of mind, right? And the buyer campaign, so how I've fluctuated that one is it's now, it used to be, we used to have it more so just text. And it was, so now it's a good balance of text and email communication, as well as if we don't connect with these people, it'll actually feed into the non-responsive campaign and then also into that educational campaign as well. So continuously, it's like, I don't even know how long these campaigns go for, but for a bit, right? So if somebody
Sure.
comes in and you've never made contact with them, you can rest assured that you're probably sending them communications for at least 6 months through, you know, a
I
little more
think
text
that's
heavy in
so.
the beginning, but more email driven in the end. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I hope everybody that's listening has, when their leads come in, has them on some sort of automatic email drip campaign. Because ultimately, when you're rocking and rolling and when you're showing houses, there's a peace of mind that you have knowing that your leads are hearing from you not only by just getting the listings, but also that powerful drip campaign in behind you along with the text messages incorporated in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? That gives you a good sounding base for your
Mm-hmm.
leads. It's those
Yes.
other touches that also help draw them in. So
Mm-hmm.
for anybody that's on here listening, if you haven't already assigned a campaign, or if you're getting an automatic assignment from Agent Locator, maybe they automatically load one for you,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you have the next one running so that at least that part is done if you don't want to create your own or remodify an existing one. It's
Exactly.
really, really important. The bottom
Mm-hmm.
line is if they're just getting listings from you and nothing else, chances are somebody like myself who has the multi-level touches will
Mm-hmm.
nab them before you because they do need to constantly see your name in their inbox and identify you as a realtor that's regularly communicating with them.
Mm-hmm.
So just double check, go into that email campaign editor and just make sure that you've got some sort of drip campaign assigned, right?
Absolutely. Most
And
of them should, unless they've turned it off, which
right,
happens because some people don't want those things on.
yeah.
But yeah, if anyone wants the revamped versions, you can just reach out because we just have to install them and change some things around. And there is
So
even
they
like
do have to get them reinstalled then,
yeah, so
Crystal?
it's just yeah,
Okay.
because I've added to the system, so we just have to plug them in and then
Okay.
reassign which ones trigger automatically based on the previous settings. That's all. So it's a hop,
Sure.
skip, and a jump, and it's done. It's not nothing
Yep.
complicated, but and
Yep.
then again, yeah, if anyone wants to, of course, have training on all of that, then can do that as well.
Or they can go back and watch some of our older videos because we do talk a lot about that too, right?
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Sabrina, how many campaigns do you need to have, and how do you decide who gets what campaign? That's actually a good question.
Hmm.
I use one, but I keep building that campaign. So my campaign now is well over, no, it's almost 300 days, I think now. So I'm constantly adding to it and I'm constantly revising it too. So my leads here from me for close to a year. Um, Now with Agent Locator, what you can do is you can have another campaign, just as Crystal was saying. When one campaign ends, you can have built in another one starting.
Hmm.
So ultimately, it's going to be one campaign long, right? With other ones just running in behind. The blessing for building it that way is these people will get soft touches from you for as long as you want to continue to add on to that
Hmm.
campaign,
Hmm.
right? Now for me, the one is enough because my all my leads get just listed, they get open house invites as templates. They hear from me outside of the drip quite regularly. But most importantly, they still get their listings.
Yeah.
Uh, so you can have it as much as you want. The more that you build it, the easier it becomes for you in knowing that you know the leads are hearing from you outside of listings,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And that, I just, go ahead. Go ahead.
we actually taught quite a few, gosh, this might be 2 or 3 years ago. If you check back to some of our older videos, we actually showed you how to write a very, very simple email. And sometimes you can even duplicate an email if you want. If you have a certain email that goes out on week 3, and then you decide to re-add it again at week 305, go for it. Like,
Yes.
I feel like sometimes we expect way more perfection
Mm-hmm.
um, than what we need to kind of stress about, right?
No, for
A
sure.
quick text. Hey, it's Sabrina again, just touching base. How's your home search going? Gosh, that's amazing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Throw that
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
10 times if you want, if you have
Yeah.
a 500-day email, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that the educational buyer campaign actually loops itself. So it's 18,
Oh,
that one is 18 weeks long. So as it's currently set up, it'll go to the very end and then go right back to the beginning and then go right to, so it'll just basically continuously run. But it's been 18 weeks since they received the first, like they're not going to remember first and
I
foremost,
just don't think it
right?
matters
And it
anymore.
doesn't, it's,
I really don't. I feel
mm-hmm,
like we paid for the lead. We'll do what we want. If they
mm-hmm,
have the option to opt out, I love that. Listen, the
mm-hmm,
more touches, the better. As long as they're soft, they're not hardcore pressure sales. You're going to
mm-hmm,
win these people over, but you're not if you're not doing a little bit extra. You
absolutely.
really aren't. And remember,
Mm-hmm,
when you go under their profile and you check the emails, which I do quite often, just to give me an idea of how much blue do I see and how much green do I see.
mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of the emails that go out in our drip, they might not open, right?
Yes.
So you might
Yeah.
have 3 or 4 blue and then you'll see 5 in a row green. So
Mm-hmm,
even if you were to duplicate it again down the road, chances are they might not have really seen it or paid attention to it the first
mm-hmm.
time, right?
Exactly.
We just got to give ourselves a
Exactly.
break.
Yeah.
Honestly, everything now is so difficult. Let's make it easier on ourselves,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we tend to overthink things. We overcomplicate things when they don't need to be complicated. But it's easy to do sometimes because we're, trying to
Yeah.
achieve it all. And
But
so,
remember, there's always leads
hmm,
coming in. And this is
hmm,
where I think some people as well, Crystal,
hmm,
get a little bit afraid. Like, say you decide you want to send a market update out, which I think are great. Our
hmm,
boards now give us market updates and writing. You can put it in AI and create whatever
hmm,
you want, and
yeah,
send it to everybody. But then you do that, and then all of a sudden, most of us get unsubscribe, unsubscribe. So then you become afraid because
yes,
they've unsubscribed, right?
hmm,
I look at it different. I don't love that they unsubscribed, but ultimately, sorry, my phone is going out
that's
off and
okay.
it's spam. Ultimately, I look at it this way. I'd rather them unsubscribe now than me waste my time anymore because I've got leads coming in every day, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
So I've learned to not stress. If I do too many touches, they'll unsubscribe. Then guess what? Then you're not thinking about buying a home. Like,
yeah,
I'm not
and
asking for firstborn. I'm asking if you like this
yeah,
house.
yeah, yeah, we overthink it. And again, some people might not fully want to unsubscribe, right? They may just not want those type of emails, or they still want listings. But
Good point.
don't send me a newsletter. Don't send me this. Just send me the listings,
Sure.
right?
And that's actually really interesting because sometimes the way we get the notifications from AL is so and so is unsubscribed. And you look at it and go, oh, but what you don't realize is they just unsubscribe from the emails. They're still getting the listings, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's always good to double check that, guys, because if they don't want the drip campaign, that's okay. But you can still text them, you can still call them, right? But they're
yeah,
still getting the listing. So double check that because it's
yeah.
actually not as dreaded as you might think.
Hmm.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, like it's when people are unsubscribing as well, you could have just been on the day that they decided to clean up who the heck they're
Oh,
receiving emails from, right?
right.
And
Or they
now
just got in a fight with their wife, or you never know, right?
and Google makes it so easy now. So on my thing, I have a button that's like manage subscriptions. So it's actually made it super easy for us to be able to go in there and be like, this per like you can go in and go unsubscribe, 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 unsubscribe. Like it's made it super easy for people to be able to do that, right? So and
Sure.
sometimes they might do that and not realize what they're unsubscribing from. So always call an unsubscribe lead. You can acknowledge that they've unsubscribed. You can also just talk to them as if they hadn't, right? And talk about their search. And then you know, okay, this person's still interested in the listings. And just,
Right.
this newsletter or this article, whatever it is I sent to them, clearly they're not interested in.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's challenging, but I do still believe these are great ways of getting business to us. We just have to be committed and have the right mindset to continue to work and develop what is the best way to get them to communicate with us.
Hmm.
Conversion is there.
Yes.
We can convert them. We just need them to talk to us. So, what are the things that you're doing to your plan A, B, C, and D, right?
Hmm.
In order
Hmm.
to incorporate all of this so that we can get these people to respond to us, right? And
Absolutely.
don't be afraid to try different things. I love that. Share with me. Hey
Hmm.
Tara, I tried, even if you decide texting and what it is that you texted, if you get a good response, share it with us, right?
Hmm.
Knowledge is power, right? I want to be able to celebrate with you if you tried something and it worked, right?
Yes.
That is a win, a
Hmm.
massive win. Because even if they reply, hey, I'm not looking right now, but I might in the spring, that is something that deserves celebrating
Hmm.
because it's not easy to get that much from them right now,
No,
right? Everybody's a
absolutely.
little on edge. Let's ease their mind. Let's be there for them. Let's
Hmm.
tell them we're here whenever the time is right for them, and they will respond to you, right?
Yes.
But remember, what do I always say? Sometimes it's not always about our lead. If we treat them the right way, they know people. And my
Yes.
leads historically have always referred me, right?
Hmm.
So it's like listing a house and doing open houses and trying to get more business, right?
Hmm.
What can
Absolutely.
we get from our leads if it's not just the lead itself, right? But
100%.
it takes a plan. It takes a plan, right?
Yes.
Sitting down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Holding ourselves accountable to those plans as well. You know, and
Yeah.
that could be a struggle for a lot of us, right? So a
Sure
lot of
it
what
is.
we hear is like, they
Sure
know
it
what they
is.
got to be doing, but they just don't have time or this. It's really looking and creating that time blocking yourself, having, I go into and I have in the past, not so much now, but I have done in the past where I time block my calendar for certain things and color code it so that you know that this is the time that I've allocated specifically for this and treating it as an appointment. It needs to get done, right?
Yep.
So it's doing that for yourself and your business and you kind of work around it. It's tricky in the beginning because we're used to free flowing and just kind of
Yeah.
managing our business on the fly,
Sure.
but once
Sure.
you add a little bit of strategic planning as far as how you're going to best use your time, you end up having more of it as well. So
It's crazy, isn't it? And I think
yeah.
that's the hardest part is if we've let agent locator leads go, if we haven't created a system for working them, the overwhelming feeling and the hours that it takes to put it together, it's so easy to say I don't have time for that. But the
Hmm.
time blocking is extremely necessary if you want to get conversion out of our leads. Whatever your avenue is, whether you do all of the calling, the emailing, the texting, you have to time block in order to make this happen.
Hmm.
When I wrote my course last year and introduced it, Beat the Market, we had a whole section in there that talked about time blocking, and I gave samples of time blocking calendars. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I had such a good response to it, Crystal. Like I had so many people all across Ontario be part of the first launch of the training program.
Yeah.
Um, so I asked them after, what was your favorite part? Because it was 3 weeks, right? Once,
Mm-hmm.
not every day. It was once a week.
Yes. Yeah.
It was an hour and a half
Mm-hmm.
every Wednesday for 3 weeks. All of them, hands down, said the time blocking calendar has literally changed my career,
Mm-hmm.
right? And yet it was so simple,
Yeah.
right? But we need to see what it could look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to
Exactly.
change it. You're going to change it.
Gotta
But
do
when
it.
you see it's
Mm-hmm.
and you see it in fruition, it's not as challenging as it is. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
guys, if the market doesn't get better, if this trade war does affect us more than what we've already seen, we got to dig our heels down. Like the fall market, if you're not working on what business is coming to you in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to lose out and you will have no closings in January.
Mm-hmm.
It is doer time. This is why I always say to the agents that I train, summer is here. Do not disappear.
Yeah.
You have to be working on your business in order to secure closings for fall and January, right?
Mm-hmm.
So dig in. We're in for a ride, but we're all in this together, aren't we?
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, it'll all go, it'll all switch for the better. We just gotta give it time and work
Yeah.
and grind in the meantime.
Sure. Sure. Any questions, guys, before we head out? This hour's gone by quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to chip in. Let us know your thoughts if you're still with us. And the next, the end of September. Anyways, we are going to be
Mm-hmm.
doing the retirement training with
Yeah.
Chad. Um, that might have to be October's. Uh, I will touch base with you, Crystal, about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, wait. Did we already book a time?
We booked a date already for September.
We did. See, this is the dementia.
Um, Hold on,
Yes.
I think
Early
the fourth
December.
is
Early
either
summer.
like, yeah, like the 15th or the 22nd, something like that. It's after school, everyone's back in, people are situated.
Okay. You
So,
gotta attend this. So Chad, my
mm-hmm.
business partner, Chad, is going to be coming on, everybody. He's a wealth management person as well as a realtor in
Mm-hmm.
incredible knowledge. And what
Mm-hmm.
we've put together is how to plan for your retirement as a realtor. So separate from conversion, this is a whole, all the stuff that we need to know. The interesting point about this one is it's never too late to think
Mm-hmm.
about what you need to do to get some extra coin for retirement. So I wish I could remember the date. I feel like
I
it's early
I got
September.
I know, and I got emailed this morning because I have to get
It'll get sent out to you. But if you guys that are on here
yeah.
happen to see it, attend
Mm-hmm.
it because honestly, I had him come in when I was manager of the brokerage and do it, and it was absolutely incredible. Some of his ideas,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
super easy to. Yeah.
absolutely. It's September 15th, 1 p.m.
Okay.
Eastern.
All right. Let me write that down so I can put it in my book. All right. At 1 p.m., right?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. That's exciting.
Awesome. It
All
is.
right.
Awesome. It'll be a good one. Well, thanks
You said
again, Tara. As always, thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you again in a month.
welcome. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.